Hi class, this is course 2, lesson 65, circumference and pi. So circumference, recall, is the distance around a circle. That's circumference. It's comparable to perimeter in a polygon. The formula is C, circumference, equals pi times your diameter. You can also think of this formula as circumference equals 2 pi r, or 2 times your radius, which gives you your diameter. Now pi is a constant. Okay, its value never changes. It's not a variable. It's a constant. It's a number. It has a value. We can represent pi as a decimal approximation of 3.14. So it's approximately, okay, not equal to. It's approximately, and that's what that symbol means. Approximately. Okay, so anytime you're doing circumference problems or area problems, anything that deals with pi, if you're going to use a decimal approximation, you need to use the swirly looking equal sign, the approximately equal to. It's not exactly equal to your answer, it's approximately equal to, because we didn't use the symbol pi, we didn't use the whole number pi. Okay, so we can represent pi as decimal, 3.14. We can also represent it as approximately 22/7, or it is equal to pi. So those are the 3 different values we can use to evaluate circumference. Okay, here are 3 problems that we will do. If you feel like you could attempt these without my assistance, try them and then play the video to see if you were successful. Circumference, recall, is C equals pi d, so pi times diameter. Now, in example A, we notice we have the diameter, so 30 inches is going to equal d, and it tells us to use the approximation 3.14 for pi. So if we substitute those values into our formula, we get C equals 3.14 times 30. And this should be approximately equal to, because we're using a decimal approximation. So we're just going to multiply 3.14 times 30. And put the decimal in the right spot, and then label it. Now circumference is just the distance around, so it's just the units, it's not squared. Now in example B, they give us the diameter in the circle, and they tell us to use 22/7 for pi. So again, using the formula, C will be approximately equal to 22/7 times 14. Now, I like this pairing really nicely because 7 will divide into that 14 twice. So now I just take 22 times 2, and I end up with 44, and this was feet, so feet. In example C, they give us the radius. So before I can use the radius, I would need to, or before I can use this formula, C equals pi d, I would need to multiply this times 2 to get a diameter of 20 centimeters. Okay, now this says leave pi as pi. What that means is in your formula, circumference equals pi times diameter. That's all you need to do, except we're going to write the number in front of the pi symbol. So we're going to write 20 pi centimeters. So those are your 3 answers. These problems right here, where it says leave pi as pi, are probably the simplest problems that you will ever encounter. You make sure you have the diameter and then multiply it times the pi symbol. And for some reason, we either don't read these instructions underneath the circles, or we think that maybe it's too simple and so we have to do something else. But this is, in fact, when it says leave pi as pi, the pi symbol will be in your answer. Okay, so that's it, circumference and pi. 22/7 you would use whenever the number that you were multiplying it by is divisible by 7. That would be the easiest approximation to use in that case, because then you can divide out a factor of 7. When it's not going to be like 30 isn't evenly divisible by 7, so we would use the 3.14 as a decimal approximation. Okay, so that's it. Formula for you to remember: C equals pi d, that's circumference of a circle. I will see you in class.